we are back at it today, building this custom mini bike to be raffled off at one of my favorite car shows. All the proceeds are going to charity. We're doing a whole playlist here on YouTube of the build. So subscribe, stick around, watch along. At the end of the series, we're all gonna see some lucky kid win this custom mini bike. Last time we made these gussets in the back, in the front, foot pegs, more gussets, stretched the frame, did some stuff back here. We don't need to talk about that. We gotta make some gas tank mounts here. Comes with these ones. It's got a little plate steel. We'll weld it in between these frame rails. That way this can sit up in here, about like so. That should look pretty dang good, I think. Something like that'll do just fine. And that gives us two straps across the frame rails that'll give us something to bolt those tank brackets to. I think I'm going to flip this over and weld them from underneath. I think that'll give it a lot cleaner of a look, and I won't have to get in there and try to clean the welds inside here. So yesterday we got these brackets installed to mount the gas tank. So right now I'm going to drill a hole in the middle of them so we can mount that tank. I think this 1964 will do it. It'll be just slightly bigger, so I'll give it a little bit of wiggle room and room for paint. So I thought I was going a little bit too big, but it needs to be a size or two bigger. 2164. See if that works better. Looks pretty good in there, I'd say. This front fender is a little too wide for these forks. We're just going to notch them out a little bit on both sides so it fits up in there nice. We'll start with taking a measurement here. It's about 4 1/4, actually a little less. I think if we call it 4 1/8, that'll give us a little bit of room. If we find center of the fender, this fender is 4 5/8. So it's half of that, 2 5/16. Yeah. And we wanted it 4 1/4, so 2 1/8 from each side. All right. We're going to take this and just trace it onto here. Alright, so we got these marked. I'm going to grind this out, notch it out to that, and then we'll fine tune it from there. that will work. We took out a little bit too much, but that's all right. We'll make it work. We'll make it look good. I just need to figure out where to put this thing now. So this tire, we're gonna call it a foot. We need to raise this bike up about a foot. No, 6 inches. Because we want that, because we want it to be in the middle. All right, that's looking like 6 inches right there. The reason I wanted to do that is just because I kind of want to mock it up. See what kind of angle I want on this fender. Looking pretty good, just like that. I got this 6.3 left over from when I wired up the air compressor. I'm gonna put that on top of the tire and then set the fender on that, and that should give us a pretty good gap between the tire and the fender. I think that'll work. I do. Just gonna throw a tack on it and get that tire out of the way and weld it up. Just gotta make sure it's all straight and even first. We got that tacked on. I'm gonna go ahead and put that tire back in just to double check everything, and then we'll weld it up. Because I would hate to weld that up and have it be off so tire don't fit. You know what I'm saying? So that's fitting in there snug. Inside of this tire is 6 inches. So what we're hoping for is that right there is 3. And it's looking pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and put that aside because we need to prime this frame. I buzzed it down with a 180. And this is actually an epoxy primer in a rattle can, in an aerosol can. Shake it up real good. On the top of the cap here is this little button. Flip the can over, put the button on that, push down, and that releases the activator, hardener, catalyst, releases it into the primer because it's a 2-part deal. I have that thing flipped upside down on the bench, and I got everything on the underside. I'm gonna let that dry, flip it over, get the top side, and then we can start doing some body work on it, because there is some spots where we put these gussets and everything where I'm gonna wanna smooth them out a little. And we could do body work over the top of epoxy primer. Doing a little bit of body work on this. Just a little bit. Don't expect any nice fancy paint job on this thing. We just ain't got the time or the budget for that. Besides that, I hate body work. They don't call it body fun for a reason. So we're just gonna smooth it out where we welded it together, a couple other little spots, and that's it. And then we'll get another coat of epoxy primer on it, and that'll pretty much be the finish we're gonna leave it. I'll do some pinstriping on the fenders and whatnot, but it's gonna remain a hot rod black. That's good enough. Like I said, we weren't going for perfect here. Sanded it down with 80, went over it again with 180, and now I'm going to do another coat of that epoxy primer, and we're going to call that good. So I'm thinking we're going to widen this fender. When we stretched the frame, this got wider. Now there's kind of a big gap on each side. It's actually not too bad, but I think I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. So I got this marked right down the center. So that's looking like 18 gauge. I should have some over here. So we're going to go ahead and make that happen. Two halves in the center. It's mostly straight. I'm gonna kind of pre-bend this. That way we're not pulling on it as we go. We'll get it pretty close. Fine tune it along the way. Kind of using whatever's around. That's pretty close. All right, I got it all tacked together on the underside. Looking pretty good on top. I'm gonna go ahead and just start stacking tacks up here and taking my time. Don't want to heat it up too much. Tack, tack, let it cool. While we're letting it cool, Kyle cut a chunk out of this exhaust. Now I gotta weld it back together. The reason he cut that piece out of it was so it's gonna come out in the center. That's the idea. That should work. Hey, keep down over there. I'm just kidding.
What are the safety splits?
I'm just kidding. God, I'm just kidding. In the, yep, in there. Oh, yep, in there. In a box. A white box.
What do you think I'm looking for?
The white box. No, that's like a silver box. Oh. There you go. Jesus. I swear the language of everybody around here is just obscene. I learned it from watching you. So we got the exhaust all welded up. We got it coated in a special high heat coating.
That's just self-etching primer.
It'll work. Now I'm wrapping it with this titanium exhaust wrap. Now normally you would soak this stuff in water before applying it, but this titanium stuff, you can skip that step. I'm just pulling it real tight and around and around and around till there ain't no rounds left to go. Got to the end and cut that. I'm actually gonna fold it over so it leaves a nice end. You can get like stainless zip ties, whatnot for this. I just gonna use a hose clamp. I placed that hose clamp where that would be on the bottom so you wouldn't really see it. Go on there about like that. Oh, I painted the tip red. Why? I don't know. I felt like it and I thought it'd be cool. It's kind of cool, right? Isn't it? A little bit? Cody! Is it cool?
Bueno.
He says bueno. I'm just gonna put this on here finger tight. We're gonna let Kyle do this. He's the engine guy and the assembly guy on this project. To the point on this, I want to put this fender on. Got it cut so it'll go around the frame here. But somebody's using my welder. What the heck is that? I think we're set up pretty good there. I gave the fender a little bit more room on top of the tire than I did up front. I don't know if I'm gonna like it being different or not. Maybe I'll lower it. Yeah, just a little bit. So yeah, I lowered it down a hair. I like it much better. For sure. Welded on, half-ass body worked, and primed. But I'm out of the black epoxy primer that we did this whole frame in. So I scuffed the whole thing with the red scuff pad, and I'm just gonna paint it with this Krylon Farm and Implement black low gloss enamel. It'll be good. The reason I'm doing the whole thing is that even if this paint was a perfect match to that epoxy primer, you can't really blend black. You'll always see it. We'd end up with a noticeable difference here. We don't want that. Kyle has the wheels. He's getting some paint on them. I need to figure out where this chain is gonna go, because it's gonna hit the fender the way it is. We're gonna have to cut it out like that, but I'm not entirely sure where. It's gonna be kind of a guess, but I want to get that cut out. I want to get some pinstriping on these fenders, and then that way when he comes tomorrow with the wheels, we can start assembling this thing. If we look at the case here behind the sprocket, I think if we just follow that up, make a mark on the fender here. This is actually really hard to guess without the wheel. I think I'm just gonna cut it right to there. If we need to cut more, we need to cut more. All right, well, we got that cut out. Sure wish I would have did that before we painted it. I'm gonna try to back tape it, see if we can make that look decent. Trying to give it a nice rolled edge on this paper so that way the paint kind of feathers into it rather than leaving a hard line. Let's see how this goes. It's gonna have to just turn out good enough. You know what I'm saying? We're getting a coat of paint on the clutch cover too. Got some primer on here, sanding it, and I know earlier I said you can't blend black, and that's the truth. But also, we're gonna do it anyway. We'll just kind of blend it up into this area here. I don't even think it'll be all that noticeable. While we're waiting for that to dry, and we're working on that, I'm going to do just a little pinstripe piece on this front fender. We are going with a traditional hot rod, red and white on black. Because, you know, can't go wrong with that. Plus, we got white walls and red wheels. It'll look great. Well, there's color one on that. It's not too bad. I'm not disappointed in that. Kyle is on his way over here. We're gonna start getting this thing together, but I want to do a second color on that piece that we did on that fender yesterday. I want to do that first before he gets here. But before that, I got this. We got some grips, red sparkly ones. That's cool. I like it. By the way, garagetime.store. If you're looking for some pinstripe art like that, you can find that there. And some t-shirts too. I think that's good enough. Kyle's on his way over here. We're gonna start getting this bike together. You guys can see that next time. But thanks for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. This whole mini bike build playlist is right here. I'll see you out there.